Hello, everyone. Good day. We would like to welcome you all to our Class Creative International Teaching Conference on integrating teaching, learning, and assessment in EFL class. And we would like to thank you all for joining in this session. I'm Irma Angela, and I would like to introduce our presenter for today, Ibu Dayang Suryani. Ibu Dayang is a teacher. Hello, Ibu.
Hello,
Good
Bu
day.
Irma and all
How are
audience.
you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, thank you. What about you, Bu Irma?
Okay. Okay.
What a
Ibu
happy day
Dayang
today.
is a teacher in SMA N1, Balikpapan, is Borneo. She holds double master's degree. Both are in English language and education management. Among the long list of achievements Ibu Dayang has are in the Inspirational Women in Education 2021, top 50 finalists of Global Teacher Prize in 2017, and global champion of the SOS for Love project launched in the UN Greece in 2021. Without much further ado, Ibu Dayang, the session is yours.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Bu Irma, for handling this opening. And it was such a wonderful session for today because I can see you here and then also the audience is here. Thank you so
Very
much for
excited.
attending. Thank you so much for attending this virtual conference. Okay, so today I am going to present my ideas and best practice so far that I have done in my teaching and learning interaction with my students in the classroom. And the title of my best practice is about rw.com. Okay, maybe anyone has known about this? Okay, it's exactly the acronym actually, not just the real meaning in stating this title of my best practice, but it's actually the acronym which is about R, which is stand for reading, and then W stand for writing, and com is exactly what people like to do in the real life, which is commemoration or commemorating, let's say celebration. That's why in this opportunity, I'm going to present you rw.com as my teaching strategy and improving or to improve reading and writing ability. So here we go. Okay, a reader is reading. A writer is writing. Not a writer is writing. Should be omitted. I'm so sorry, typo. A writer is writing, not dreaming to read and write. Well, these two words exactly push me to initiate an activity of reading and writing that I should do in my classroom. Well, for activity of teaching and reading is not like a rare activity that I usually do in my classroom, but it's exactly presenting my ideas on how to improve the culture of reading and writing as good as I can. But to be honest, when I want to tell you the problems at school, well, at the beginning, I thought that the culture of reading and writing were still insufficient. That's why I'm trying to find out an idea on how to improve the activity of reading and writing so that it could bring many benefits to the students' improvement exactly about teaching and learning process. Well, as we can see this picture, these two pictures taught you that many students in many schools usually do the reading activities by themselves. There is no such guidance from the teacher. They just pick the book and let's see here, pick the book and they read themselves and then they read it on the table by sitting on the floor. And that's what exactly happened in many schools around Indonesia. Is that right, Bu Irma? Okay, that's why in doing so, I'm trying to find out the activity which hopefully will bring another sensation of teaching reading and of course teaching writing. And then the next problem is the students rarely got intensive reading activity. That's why through this activity also so-called rw.com, trying to make the students do a reading activity which is very intensive and hopefully the students also can find out another atmosphere of reading and writing activity itself. And then the next one is reading and writing activity were boring and monotonous. Well, when I ask my students in the classroom, they usually answer my question like this: "Oh my God, reading? Do you want me to read, ma'am?" "Yes, why not?" "Oh my God, reading is such a bored activity that I don't like to do that." "Oh, why?" "Yeah, because it takes time and there's no such a good book that we would like to read in the library." But then it's only an opinion from certain students that I have in my school, but doesn't mean it represents all the students' willingness to read a book. So then writing and reading activity become two of the activities that we should find out an idea why we have to make them all as the activity that would bring to a real atmosphere of teaching and learning, which is comfortable teaching and learning. Okay, so what about rw.com? Well, I am a teacher who like to find out every single thing which is hopefully can answer the problems of my students that is suitable with their problems that I have told you before, reading and writing. That's why I come out with the rw.com, just because hopefully this idea, this method, okay, let's say this strategy can hopefully improve my students' reading and writing ability. Well, as I told you before, as at the beginning slide, that rw.com stand for Reading and Writing Community. Well, in that strategy, there are three learning strategies that I'm going to propose you here. The first one is reading for sharing on Facebook, IG, and YouTube. And the second one is writing with teachers and friends. And then the next one is commemorate it all, or that means we have to do celebration after doing all activities related to reading and writing community. Well, related to the reading itself, with working together with all teachers in my school, we are trying to make a schedule of teaching together. So we do collaboration. We did agreement that we're going to find another place for us to read together. So I try to make a little, like a small meeting, a mini meeting with the teachers that have the same schedule with me. So, for example, in a day, there are 4 subjects that should be taught at school or exactly in the classroom. So, I invite those teachers who have the same schedule with me. So, when I teach the first and the second period, and the next teacher is teaching in the third and the fourth period, and the other teacher also teach in the fifth and the sixth period, and the other teachers also teach in the seventh and the eighth period. So we meet each other, so we discuss, so what about going out and find out something which is different, so we can read the book together, and even we can do something which is not really monotonous and bored. So this is what we agreed before. So here is one of the teachers. So she's Bu Yola, a Bahasa Indonesia teacher. She also has the same schedule with me in that day. So we agreed that we're going to go out and do an activity of reading and writing for sure. And another activity that we do related to the reading itself, we also let the students to go together with us, with some teachers that has the same schedule with me at that day. So we visit library and we did reading there. We read together. We spend a lot of time for reading. So my students really enthusiastic to read a book in outside the school area, because sometimes they got bored in having reading activity at school, because that's the situation and condition that they usually have mostly for a day. That's why when we bring them together outside the school and go to the library, they were very enthusiastic, and we went there together by by using our own vehicles, right? So yes, as you can see here, yeah, my students read the book. They're very enthusiastic, serious even. So yeah, this is what we actually do in our classroom interaction. So again and again, after we did an activity of reading, exactly by having different situation, we read outside, we read a book outside the area of school. We choose the forest area, which is very popular in Indonesia because there is a sun bear there. So while we are seeing or looking at the sun bear earning the food for their life, so we also can read a book there, find out the new environment, new atmosphere. So we can read very in relaxed situation. I mean, we can read a book in a different situation like a school, and also we write everything there. What we see is what we write. That's the idea why I let my students to go outside, because I'm sure that outside has many in ideas. I mean, has many sources for my students to write something, even to see something which is different. Then they will have an idea how to write. Maybe they can write a poetry. They can write a paragraph, which is very easy writing. So I told them to produce easy writing at the beginning. So after they produce easy writing, they can post it. They can post it in social media, which is Facebook. Let's see here. So the student who reads something, okay, they read a book. Okay, for example, this is a book, Love Conquers Death. So they met a criticism of the book and they post it on our social media, which is mansarw.com. So this idea also initiated me to make a social media, which is not to make, to use a social media, which is Facebook, and with the special address, which is mansarw.com. And my student wrote everything they read here, not only a reading activity, but also they can they can write everything they have written when we were in another area of school. And then also we are talking about book. We are discussing about book through live Instagram. So we did discussion. We have Q&A session with my students, like you can see here. So we just talk like girls talk. So we talk about the book, which is very simple and easy to read. And we have question and answer session, and that's fun actually. So we did it at night, and my students really wait for that sessions because all my followers, which are about thousands or more, so they read. I mean, they follow us. They join the live session even though they cannot participate like my students. Okay, as I can see. And then another production of my student, another product that my student can do is also doing a short criticism, which is posted on YouTube. So they give a criticism toward the book they read. So and then they post it, they publish it to YouTube. And you can see on the YouTube channel, if you write down Dayang Suryani book criticism, you're going to see all my students' product about their criticism on such a book that they have read. Okay, and then what about writing with teachers and friends? I also let my students to produce a book that is written collaboratively together with me and another students. So they will have something. They will have a masterpiece before graduating from my school. So these are the students that write a book titled The Voice of Youth. It is all about the students' experiences when helping their parents at home. Even when they were together with their parents, they told a story about how important is spending the quality time together with their parents. So the book titled The Voice of Youth. This is the book that I bring when I was in Dubai. I showed this book to all teachers around the world, and they read the book, and it was such an amazing and honored. I was so honored also to show this book because they read this book and they can let's say, give a short criticism, short response about the book that I have presented. And the Voice of Youth remind me that I have worked together with my student and create this book. Wow, it's so fun to work with my students. And this is my principal who also support this rw.com. And then not only me and my students wrote a book, but there's also another teachers, Bu Hijra, Bu Rike. They also produce a book together with the other students, not only my students, but they work together with their students. So not only me exactly who like to write with my students, but other teachers also follow my lead. So they also produce a book titled Kumpulan Puisi di Balik Tirai Hati. This is actually the result of our activity at the beginning, which is outing and library visits. So the student produce something. So then what is the job of a teacher? So we as teachers, we have to help the students the way how to write a good sentence and make every sentence that they wrote to be better than before. And then also the Wheel of My Dream and Wish, also another book that I wrote together with my students. It is all about their experiences when learning English with Miss Dayang and with another teacher. So what is so fun together with my students, and we create a book with the thing that we write together. Okay, and then after we write a book, we show it to the principal. Sorry. Okay, so after we write a book and then we show it to the principal, so then we commemorate it all as the acronym of rw.com. So the last com is exactly commemorate it all. So by means celebration. So together with another teachers, we do a workshop how to write easily, and then we show our book together with the one who likes to write also in Balikpapan. There are so many people who likes writing, and we work together. We build a workshop like what has been done by Kaka, which is Kelas Kreatif. They did an online workshop, and we do it the same. So, but we do it together in a special room provided by the library in Balikpapan. So we did that, and many participants also attend to our activity. And then we present it together. First, I need to be the example of my friends, so my friends can do the same thing like I did. And also this one, I let my child, which is my daughter, I let my child Amira to work with me also and to write together with me. So I'm not only letting my students to write together with me, I also let my daughter to write together, and all people around my neighborhood, they write together with me. Whatever the book they want to write, actually I try them to at least write what exactly they're feeling at that time. And then also in 2017, I also showed this book, and this is my friend, my global friends, Erin Gruel and Sandra. They are also top 50 finalists of Global Teacher Prize, and okay, Erin hold my book, and then Sandra is standing on the back. And I also hold Erin's book, so we did an activity of awarding each other. So Erin gave me some awarding sentences and supportive statements, so I can grow up until now. And here is the statement from Erin Gruel, the Freedom Riders author, about my masterpieces. So check it out. Okay, excuse me, Irma, can you hear the sound?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, maybe I should stop it for a while and then I will share you the sound, yeah? Okay, so everyone can hear the sound. Okay, wait. Okay, I would like to share it again because I forgot to click share sound at the beginning. Sorry ya, Bu Irma ya. Okay.
We'll take your time.
Yeah, okay, so here we go with the video from Erin Gruel.
What's up, Balik Papan? I am here with your teacher, Dayang, and I'm holding her books. I'm at the Global Teacher Prize with her. She's amazing. Keep writing, keep reading, keep learning.
Okay, so at that time we had an activity so-called awarding others. So we have to give our own impression toward a book that our friends had created. So we are decided in pair. So Erin and I were in pair, so we need to give some awarding statement toward the creativity or innovation that we have done exactly in a real teaching and learning interaction. So I showed her my books, and she also she also showed me her book. So we have to give our award to each other. And if you guys want to see the YouTube channel of how Erin gave me this supportive sentence, you just can click this YouTube link so you can have a watch in this video. Yeah, you just can watch this video exactly. Okay, and then, okay, this one also. One of the activity that we did related to the teaching reading and writing. So me and my friends, like the top 50 teacher of the world, exactly in the part of supporting literacy and instruction program at school. So we were decided to work together to make a mini studio, and we are talking more about how important is reading and writing activity to be taught at school. So if you guys want to watch this video, you can also get to this link. You can also click this link, and you can also feel how is the video about. This is the video of collaboration that me and my friends work together to create solution of teaching reading and writing. So here we go. Top 10 tips.
Teachers, do you want to get your students to read? Here are the top 10 tips from the world's top teachers.
Tip number 1, create a classroom library of interesting books. Be sure to include novels, short stories, and papers. Also be sure to include...
Okay, and then the next one, it is tip number 2. Okay.
Tip number 2, students should choose their own reading materials. It should be based on interest, what they like. It should be based on their preference, how they like it to be, and it should be based on their reading.
Okay, now
Tip number 3, give students time to read. It may be at morning or evening, which is before lesson or after lessons finish. Make sure they read 30 minutes per day, and also prepare flexible reading corner inside classroom or outside classroom.
Tip number 4, move among students and discuss their books. These possible questions can be your inspiration to ask your students when reading activity.
Okay,
so the first question right before.
Go with the other one.
Tip number 5, you can introduce good books and discuss them with your students. You can use any activities you like, such as debates, double entry they've just studied.
And then this is tip number 6 and 7 about teaching reading.
So number 6, help students keep lists of books they want to read. Number 7, help students to keep.
And this is the tip number 8, which is spoken document.
Tip number 8, teach about authors, illustrators, and genres. Make sure that those words leap off the page so that each and every one of these books feel real. Read books aloud. Does this sound scary? Well, not all the times. This technique can be really beneficial, especially when you teach English or another foreign language to a student. And if it sounds boring or still scary to some of your students, especially if they have dyslexia, after all, they will never judge you.
Okay, and then this is the tip number 10, which is
Tip number 10, you need to require half an hour of reading every night. So here it is. And it doesn't have to be the night. It can be half an hour of reading in the morning, in the afternoon, wherever you need. And don't forget that you need to require it not only from your children, but from yourself as well.
Teachers, we hope you enjoyed our top 10 tips from the top teachers from around the world, because reading matters!
Well, that's exactly the video that we made together by the help of the crew and cameraman from from United Kingdom or England. Okay, so that's exactly the product of our activity. And again, when we want to promote something, promote the strategy, technique, and also ways to make the students improve in the way how they learn, in the way how they absorb the lesson from us, we have to be together. Because by being together, we have and we can promote a good teaching, we can promote a good learning and design work for our beloved students and of course for us as educators. So again, this rw.com is not that good enough for me to create something to make my students possible to learn reading and writing, but at least this is the strategy that I can do to make my student possible in understanding the material of reading and writing. Thank you so much for today's presentation, and I'm so sorry if there are many weaknesses when I'm presenting this material. Okay, Ibu Irma and all audiences, good day and enjoy teaching, enjoy inspiring students with our own strategy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wow, what a compact presentation yet inspiring program, Ibu Dayang, about rw.com. Wow, I'm blew out, really. Very inspiring. Thank you for sharing the program with us, Ibu Dayang. Thank you so much. I hope that it can also inspire teachers and schools as well in well, globally, actually, not only in our country. Yeah. Okay. I think now we can have some time for question and answers, Ibu Dayang. Okay. Actually, there are already a few queries related to the topic. I have actually already 5 questions here. I hope we have time for them all, because I think these are like frequent asked questions related to this topic. I'll read them one at a time, and you can try to answer them one at a time as well. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, here's our first question.
Yes.
Are teaching and writing as essential components of literacy should or can be taught in language arts subject only?
Okay. Well, for teaching writing, you mean teaching writing specifically, right? For teaching writing, doesn't mean we have to teach in language arts subject only, but we can also teach the student in different situation, like I have told you before, not only specific for the material that we have in our classroom, but we can also teach them sometimes in another different atmosphere, like why not using Instagram live, okay, every day. So we can also let them together to go outside, for example. Hey, let's hang out together. So where do you want to go, ma'am? We can go to Balikpapan Super Block. Maybe we can go to the beach. There we can write anything we have. For example, you see two children were playing a ball together in the seashore. So you can write everything there. You can write poems. You can write paragraph about the story that the children in front of you do at that time. So, well, actually, when I want to teach my students about writing, I don't want to limit my space for teaching, not only in the classroom, but I can go sometime with my students to special places, like in the beach, like in the library, or in another situation which can motivate my student to write better. Well, they usually like to have different atmosphere, different environments. So they would like to feel free. They would like to feel, oh, this is new for me. I need to find out something. So when they said, I need to find out something, so please share what things that you find out and share together with us. I don't think that I want to teach writing by producing books directly, but they can also write it in social media. You can write something on your status. Just write it, keep writing. how do you feel today, or what's on your mind? This is very simple for teaching writing. Write what's on your mind. So write it in your stages, and okay, that's the beginning points of teaching writing. That's it.
Right. Wow. Very inspiring. So actually, they can both be taught in other subject fields as well, and in using many activities and also different venues, not only in the classroom, right?
Yes, yes.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Thank you,
Thank
Budaya.
you. My
Okay.
pleasure.
Shall we go to our second question?
Yes, sure.
One method in applying the strategy given is strongly making use of digital resources. What possible support would you suggest in order to help students, also teachers, in remote areas or schools with lack or fairly limited digital and reading resources? I think this is basically, we don't want to call it classic problem, but it actually happens in many areas actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
What would you suggest, Ibu Dayang?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Bu Irma. Well, Balikpapan, yes, let's say it's a developing city. So we have to deal together with another teacher who mostly have something like a trouble in educating the students. Okay, let's say, for example, the facility of digital like internet connectivity, Wi-Fi, and another digital facilities. Some of the areas in Balikpapan also still find out difficulties in going together with the digital facilities, like okay, Wi-Fi connection. Okay, at the beginning it can be connected, but at the second one, the third one, the connectivity is lost, and that's what happened. Well, regarding this problem, I'm trying to ask for the help from my friends from another country, which okay, let's say Angeliki Papa, one of the speakers in the supportive literacy for teaching program that I have showed you the video. So she gave me a solution to teach the student with joyful and meaningful. That doesn't mean we have to depend a lot on digital application. So to create a good atmosphere when teaching, you don't need to focus or to depend on the digital literacies because it is hard for the student who live in the suburb area or even the isolated area. That's why when we went together to that remote places. So I don't think that I should use digital. Okay, I can use my mobile phone if my mobile phone has connectivity, so I just can land them. Okay, so you can use my phone if they don't have any facility. So why should we force them to have that facility? I just land them my cell phone, and in my cell phone there are too many applications that I work together with NASA and also my global friends. So many applications which hopefully can at least entertain them with using augmented reality or maybe virtual reality, so they still can work with digital application, but not to force them to have the application to have that facility itself. So I lent them my cell phone, and also I taught my students, come on, go to the remote places in Balikpapan so we can also do some like charity to help children there who want still to learn how to use a digital app, but they don't have any facility with that. So with the help of another teachers from around the world, and also with the help of my friends, some teachers from my school, and also some students that I have. So we went there together and to help those children who don't have any facility to do with the digital application. But we let them for several hours, like 1 or 2 hours, and we can make them feel okay. So okay, it's fun to have to play with the digital app, even though they don't have that for day. I mean, like for a long time, but at least 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, at least those 3 hours we can still find out okay how important and how happy is sharing, how happy is working together with another students who has no capability to provide themselves with digital facility. That's why when lack of fairly limited digital and reading resources. Okay, let's talk about reading resources. We also find out not find out. We made a special community that really care about the students' facility exactly in providing the books and also digital resources that I have told you before. We lend them our smartphone. We lend them our tablet so they can be happy also only for 3 hours. And for the books, okay, let's say for the books, we also collect the book together. The student bring one book from their house, okay, and then we collect it together. We bring it to the remote areas, yeah, remote school, for example, and then we went there together. If they cannot have, if they don't have any permission from their parents, so they just let the teachers to go there. And for that reason, me and my friends also went there together, even though the location is too far. It's about 110 kilometers from my house, but we're happy. We're happy. Well, the street also is not too good. Okay, so we have to face many challenges in going there. But when we arrived there, so we're so happy, and we're fortunate actually that we still have to be I mean, like, we still stay in the comfort area without having any lack of facilities, without having any trouble in working together with another people. When we arrive there safely, we feel happy, we feel blessed, we feel honored, because those are the people who still, I mean, thankful to God with their limitation. They still thank God. So we don't need to complain a lot. For that reason, share a lot. We share the book so that they can read the book. We share what we have. We share, we let them not share. We let them our smartphone so they can be happy with 3 hours. And that makes us feel relief here. Oh my God, they are not fortunate as we are, but they're still happy. They're still happy, and they're still thank God for all the limitation and weaknesses. That's what we have done. If Irma.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. What I can withdraw from your explanation, Ibu Dayang, there are actually two main points, actually about collaboration and sharing, and as well as bringing up the energy and spirit of the literacy itself, and that's very important,
Yes.
right? Instead
Yes.
of the lack of resources that we have
Yes.
in many places as well.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we go to our third question?
Yes.
I think we still have time.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any specific digital citizenship program or guidance for schools that you may suggest in using social media to support literacy? For example, regarding criticism, because I think it was mentioned in your presentation before, right? That your students made short criticism and copyright or publication in social media. So I think this is kind of, there's a little bit worry about things going out in public.
Yes.
And is there any code of conduct to protect that, I think?
Okay. Yeah. Out of one idea, there are too many things that would be contradict with our first initiative, right? To do this, when I told my students to post their criticism of a book toward the YouTube channel and also another social media at the beginning, some people in my school also, so why the students were published? Why not just writing on the paper and submit it to you? Well, I thought that it it was a little bit challenge, yeah, a little bit challenge that we have to face when initiating something, and it is not based on the agreement of school community. So sometimes the contradiction, the challenges are there, but that doesn't mean I need to stop this idea. I still need to keep on going by trying to make it all possible. And I should agree that with my students also and with their parents. If I need to post your students through social media, let's say YouTube, for something which is educating other people. So would you agree with that? And the parents said agree. And at the beginning, we have some kinds of integrity paper, let's say, to make me safe when initiating this idea, and to make me safe also when try to respond other people who might be disagree with my ideas. So I got a letter from the parents that they were okay when the students or when the children were posted on YouTube, as long as it is education, as long as it is inspiring others with English lessons. So they said, why not? So go ahead for that. So all in all, things that I would like to highlight here, I want my student to read. There's nothing else. They have to read. But I need to make sure that when they're reading, they're going to have fun with reading itself. The student like to post their profile in social media, and I need to accommodate my students by doing so. They like to make a TikTok, they like to post something, they like to make a vlog, and I should accommodate all my student needs regarding to the use of social media. But at the beginning, we have to be strong with all challenges and difficulties that might be happen around us. But for me, when I do something, I'm sure that it cannot make all people satisfied with all my ideas that I have already implemented. But at least this is one of my contribution to educational system, that I do this for my students. I do this to also to let people aware that you can learn everything from social media. But that doesn't mean you can bully other people from social media. This is education. Hello, this is education, and you are reading a book, and you have to tell people, I'm reading this book, and I want you to read this book by only listening to my idea, by only listening to my criticism. So this is the way that I can do to make my students understand that reading is not just a silent activity, but it's also can be an active activity, just like what I have told you before. Posting in YouTube, and you are telling about a book that you like to read. Well, Ibu Irma, fortunately, they like to read my book. So Alhamdulillah, I have created about 70, not 70, 37 books for my own.
Wow.
Yes. And my students, when I told them which book do you want to read, so my students choose my book. Hey, hello, you can also choose another book, not only my book. No, ma'am, I know the writer. The writer is in front of me. So I'm going to choose this book because I know the writer very much. That's what my
Well, they're
students
closely
want.
related to
Yes.
you.
Yes, that's why when you just click my YouTube channel Dayang Suryani short criticism or book criticism, and you will find all my students read my book. And what makes me happy is they can give some criticism. They criticize every single part in detail from my book. That's what makes me happy. My students are very critical. They are critical in reading. They are critical in revising my book. Ma'am, that's better, ma'am. It's better if you change the cover because the cover is not very interesting. I am so happy when hearing my students said to me like that. Okay, all the criticism are very professional, and my student really detail in reading my book, including the layout, the sentences that I have written, and all makes me happy. I'm happy, and I'm proud of my students, and also my children. Also, my children are the first people who read my book. So I get my book with my children at the beginning, and after that, my students, and they are all my loyal readers. Thank you, Bu Irma.
I'm sure they are, and they take a lot of benefit from having you as the teachers and the writer of the books they read.
Yes.
Wow. And we can say that it's actually about positive communication to overcome that challenge in social media, right? To communicate with teachers and other teachers and parents or other communities about this area, as well as helping the students to make responsible choices. Is that right, Ibu Dayang? Right. Okay, wow.
Irma, I forgot telling you something. Well, actually, I have done a book criticism for about years. And before flying to Dubai, my friends Michael Soskill from United States of America really, I don't know, he knows me posting a criticism of a book to the YouTube channel, and then they know Dayang knows how to make the students happy. They gave me a he gave me a statement like that before I'm flying to Dubai. So Dayang is a happy teacher, and she
Oh.
knows how to make her students happy with going with social media stuff. So Michael just tell me when I was meeting him at the first time, I know you're a happy teacher. I don't know. I don't know. So
He can sense that.
how do you know that? I'm asking him like that. How do you know that? I saw you from your YouTube channel. I just write your name, Dayang Suryani, and this is the time for me to congratulate you that you are a happy teacher, so you can make your student happy because of your initiative ideas, how to make them really with their world, how to make them understand how important is happy teaching for interaction in the classroom. So that's my friend Michael Soskill is exactly the top 10 Global Teacher Prize in 2016, and he's really into social media. And before meeting him in Dubai in 2017, he actually watched my YouTube channel for many times, and
Wow.
that's why he told me like
Wow.
that. I quite
Yeah.
a surprise. Yeah.
That's very precious positive feedbacks that you got. Actually, I'm sure that keeps you move on ahead, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
inshallah.
Inshallah.
Mhm.
Yes. Do we have time still for our fourth question?
Okay, Bu Irma,
Yeah.
I just have the message that we have to go back to the main room. But before
Okay.
going back to the main room, would you like to give me a at least a
Sure.
feedback?
Yes. 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 Wow. We actually have two
A
more other
feedback.
questions, but unfortunately, time is not really allowed. But we would like to say thank you, Ibu Dayan, especially for the
Mhm,
brilliant presentation, and thank you for sharing your RW program
mhm.
with us. And I hope this will keeps going on in your school, especially,
Amin.
and yeah, hopefully maybe other teachers
Mhm,
get also inspired by this program, but maybe not really adopt it, but just getting that insight to bring it back to their own classroom and their own students. Okay, thank you once again, Ibu Daya. And we would like also to thank you to all the participants for joining in this session. And we would like to welcome you to another Class Creative conferences in the future. So I think this is the end of our session. I think we shall go back to our main room. So good day and goodbye. Thank you,
Goodbye, all,
Budaya.
and
Thank you,
thank you,
everyone.
Irma, for your nice handling this session.
You're
Likewise.
welcome.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.